And we're live.
All right. So, you all experience the night differently, going about different activities, hanging after different thoughts. But you all get back together in the morning. I guess the people that stayed at the manor are at breakfast when Crow joins them, kind of soon-ish after sunrise. And yeah, so he comes in. He's been out all night, as far as you can tell.
Mm-hmm. Well, Aroden probably doesn't remember that he was spying on little children, right?
I don't know what he would have told you. I don't know specifically what he said.
Yeah,
I think he just split.
Yeah.
All right, so you're sitting at breakfast, and you're having some decent bread, cheese, some hard sausages, and then the door opens, and there's Crow coming in.
The table is silent at his side, but it is silent because we have our mouths full, I hope.
So what does Crow do?
Morning, Crow.
Well, Aroden concentrates on chewing, but raises his cup of morning coffee in greeting.
Sorry, I just realized my mic was off. I say, good morning, and what a lovely morning it is. And I take off my coat and hang it on a coat hook, and come and join them for breakfast. Don't say anything else about anything else.
Good.
Can't believe you still have that ringtone.
Why change it?
All right, so you let him join you. Nobody's poking into his business. That's fine.
Yeah, I suppose after breakfast, Aroden will ruffle his pocket and put a small vial with purple liquid inside on the table, saying, "So, as I had in mind last evening, this is the first example of my craft, the shield potion. If we are going to Harrowstone, I hope we could at least equip one of these vials each, just to be sure."
That does sound useful.
A wonderful suggestion. However, I am not well versed with magic. I do not know if it's a shield potion, right?
Yes, it is a shield potion.
Okay, never mind. I don't have a shield.
Mm-hmm. However, there is a catch. Unfortunately, I can, brew only one potion per day, even though it takes me only a couple of hours. So we'll have, if we are going to the Harrowstone to investigate, in order to be fully prepared, we will have to postpone our visit at least for a week.
Prudence might be wise, but 1 week, that is too long.
It is all right. In this week, we integrate ourselves. I mean, we earn trust of our new hosts, and after that, I hope they might even help us investigate Harrowstone and not scoff at our mere presence.
I am in no rush to get to the grave, but we shall see what do the others say.
Well, I have no problem waiting until at least tomorrow.
And it would leave me enough time to study the scrolls that we've found.
Alaric stays silent.
Yep.
All right.
It's a real talkative bunch we've got here.
Quiet as the grave.
Don't mind me.
That's all he says. Don't mind me. Just sitting in
It's
the
like-
oh,
So
fine.
everybody's going around the table like, yeah, tomorrow works, and I can do this, and I can do that. Everybody's looking at Alaric, and Alaric goes, don't mind me.
Don't mind me. Yeah.
All right.
Alaric,
Okay.
if you do not mind, if we are about to go investigating some strange place, I would rather know a little bit more about you.
Well, there'll be time for that, I believe. I believe that the professor, called us for something, for some reason, everyone here. So, for now, that's reason enough for me to trust you guys, so we can get together, or we can go on our own if you want, but I think we should go together.
Crow just sort of smiles and says, "A stone wall, eh? Very well. I can appreciate the desire for anonymity myself."
I think that's okay for now.
All right.
Mhm.
So, gonna switch to the meta level for a second here, because I would like to handle this now at a different time scale and not go through the encounters in real time. But
Mhm.
like I said last time, I would just like everyone to tell me what they are generally interested in. Like, I want to do research on this topic, or I want to identify those scrolls, or something like that. Like, how are you planning to spend your day? And then I'll go through that and maybe throw in something if there's anything interesting happening because of where you're going or whatever. Does that work for everyone?
Yep.
Cool. Then let's just go down the list here. So Sam, what are Emaírel's plans for the day?
He will be trying to decipher the scrolls. Which he would probably not be great at.
Okay.
So, since he does not have the read magic cantrip, he has to do a UMD roll.
Okay.
Let me
Isn't
check the DC.
isn't deciphering magic can be done with just spellcraft? Well, at higher DC though.
Well, I looked it up. The rule that I saw is that it's maybe spellcraft. Let me double check.
All right. How about you find out? Because I'm sure that's just gonna be some of the work you're doing. And then we can move to Carnus. What is Aroden going to do today?
Well, Aroden, first of all, he will start brewing the second shield potion, and after that he will well, casually take a stroll about the city, like to chat with Juminda in her apothecary shop, and well, that's about it. I mean, he will, while he's at town square, he will check a posting poll, and unless something interesting happens, he just goes back and probably he will look through the Professor Lorimer's office to see what notes what else his notes hold. And that's,
Okay.
that's about it. Yeah.
So basically keeping an ear out, chatting to people here and there.
And doing research, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Aroden brews a potion and yeah, I guess mingles
Well, yeah.
with the townsfolk. Is that right? Is that the right idea?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. What are Alaric's plans for the day?
Well, I was thinking about a little bit the same. Mingle a little bit, go to the Laughing Demon, talk with people, trying to find out. Trying to learn about all the rumors going around, all the things that have been happening around this town, because I'm sure that there's something true in every rumor, even if it's minimum, but even if everything is connected. So talking with people, finding out what's going on.
Okay. All right. So you're also going to gather information, basically.
Yes.
Try to get the lay of the land. So Alaric is also mingling and gathering information. How about, back to the right screen, there we are. How about Crow?
Well, first of all, does Lormore Place have its own like stables?
They not really stables, but they have a place with a roof and like an open side where you could
Like a
tie
run-in shed?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, I want to make sure that Duchess is well secured and happy somewhere in that vicinity. Make sure
She's very happy. It seems like Kendra actually got very fresh straw and hay for her, so she's very, very happy.
Okay, nods approvingly. I also want to be out and about around town a little bit. I kind of keep an eye out for any of these teenage kids that we've heard so much about. This kind of.
You know you're getting a reputation, right?
I'm not like looking for them. I'm just as I'm going about my business. It's just like, do I happen to notice any of these these rabble rousers? Anyone who looks like they might be, part of this gang that's out wandering around at night.
Okay.
But what I'm really going to do as I'm keeping my eye out is I'm trying to see if that other acquaintance of Lorimore's is still in town. A woman who looked rather rugged. Is at the funeral. Don't know her name.
Yeah, right.
I think she actually served as one of the pallbearers as well.
Yes, she did.
The one with the sword.
Yeah.
I would inquire at the inn about her.
Okay. All right. The funeral. Okay. I think that's pretty much a day's worth of activity. How about Geier?
Geier will do what he knows best, which is go to the Temple of Pharasma and dig around. No, not really being the social kind to gather clues. He figures his best shot is to, try to get a fresh start with Father Grimbarrow. If not win him by charm, win him by piety and work, which is usually how he gets around.
Yeah,
and hopefully with that, maybe learn something, because he knows Professor Lorimore was looking for things inside the Temple of Pharasma. So maybe he'll dig up something.
So Geier will try to ingratiate himself with Father Grimber.
Yeah, I mean, in worst case scenario, he doesn't have to deal with people, and he's still doing Pharasma's work.
All right. Okay. Okay, I think I get the idea. So here's how that day actually plays out. Roll initiative. No. Let's see how, in what order are we going to do it. Let's start with Emaírel because he may actually still have time left. So after breakfast, he retreats to his room and starts examining those scrolls. Sam, did you look up the rules for?
Yep, it is spellcraft DC 20 plus the spell level.
Okay. So
And
you're probably going to roll, I assume?
Yep.
Not taking 10. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Let me check. 20 plus the spell level.
Yeah, I think there were 3 scroll types, so that's
Yes.
3 rolls.
And I'm just gonna go through them in the order that you found them. Where is the stash? Here we are. Okay. 23. Okay, the first scroll is a scroll that lets you detect undead. The second scroll is a scroll that lets you hide from undead. There are actually 2 copies of that scroll. You don't need to identify them both because they are obviously the same. And the last scroll, however, you don't really get a read on. So you might have to find a way to get that read magic after all, or find an expert.
Yep. Well,
So were all of these? What was the rest of those items actually identified?
I think the only one we don't know about is the Darkwood case.
Okay.
And well, Emaírel does not have any means of opening it. If it's locked, I'm guessing it's locked.
It is not.
It is not. Well,
Nope, you just never tried opening it.
Well, he's gonna do that.
Okay. In the solitude of his study, he opens the Darkwood case and finds 3 objects inside that actually make your heart jump because they immediately catch your attention.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. There is, whoops, let me just hide those notes from you. You're not supposed to see that. There is a little planchette, I guess is what you would call it, that's in the Darkwood case. Strange symbols on it, and a loose piece that appears to be part of the set. But unfortunately, no instructions. Instead, there are. And that loose piece is made of brass. And in addition to that, there are a couple of glass vials of some sort. They are very much stylized. They look very mysteriously. Made of iron and glass, and they contain tiny churning clouds of vapor. The vials sit in velvet-lined indentations to the left of the board, along with 6 empty indentations.
Mhm.
How many vials you said there were?
3 were left.
Okay, so out of the 6...
No,
3
sorry,
were-
4 are left.
So out of the 6 indentations, 4 were filled and 2 were empty.
Yes.
Okay.
No, sorry. The 6 empty, so there was a total of 10, and there are 6 empty and 4 left.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Well, Emaírel will consult the Professor Arronax about these files whenever he catches him.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sure at some point during the day he's going to get a chance to help you identify these curious objects. So, what is his read on them? Do you have detect magic?
Nope. I mean, I'm an alchemist. Alchemists don't get cantrips.
That's correct. Does Emaírel have detect magic?
Nope.
Right, then I'm afraid for now, you have no way of identifying these items.
Oh shit, what if nobody has detect magic?
I believe nobody does.
Oh god.
Excellent.
Well, there's the mystery for you.
We're gonna need a wand of detect magic.
Gonna need a bigger ship.
Okay, so yeah, Dr. Arronax just scratches his head and
Well, I
has to
mean,
go.
Yeah, unless those vials are potions, I mean, I can't really help you out with.
They are not,
Oh, yeah.
unfortunately.
So maybe you like open them up and sniff them, but I probably wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, that does not sound safe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe sometime later in the evening, we will consult Kendra about these.
Mhm.
Okay, so then we'll just leave it open for now, and we'll get back to that later. I'd say you will probably have a half day left, Sam.
In that case, he will try to look into the what was it called? The 3 books that we found,
Mm-hmm.
especially the manual of the order.
Mm-hmm.
Try to see if he can glance anything from them. Maybe try to cross-reference through the professor's library.
The manual.
He'll focus on the manual, but he'll take a look at the other 3 too.
Give me a second. Sorry, I don't have a printed copy of that adventure, so it takes forever to maneuver through it. I should just print it out till next time. There we are. So, well, the problem with the manual is that it is locked. That scarab on it is actually a very intricate lock. Do you have disabled device?
Nope.
I do.
Well, I don't think he's going to ask you for your expertise right away. So first, you don't have disabled device. Do you want to try to destroy it or force it open?
No.
Okay, so then for now you'll just have to leave it as it is. Okay. So you turn your attention to the other books, which are, well, from the general appearance, they are just regular books. But as you read their contents, it kind of gives you a headache. They are strange topics indeed. The Jet Black book on verified madness deals with aberrations and other dark entities from between the stars. Terrifying read. That is hard to stomach. So too is the unholy book of Urgathoa that which is called Serving Your Hunger. The notations of Lorimor mostly deal with the paradox fact that a lot of undead worship Urgathoa, even though undead don't actually need to eat. So it is, especially intelligent undead tend to worship Urgathoa, and he just had a wild academic curiosity about that, how that comes to be. And the last book is a translation into Common of the unholy book of Zonkathon. It is called The Umbral Leaves, and it details very vividly various painful rituals, and the most terrifying ritual that comes at the end of the book is again very detailed description of something that is called the joy making, where a lucky Kuthite, which are the followers of Zonkathon, has their limbs and non-vital organs amputated so that they may remain a helpless head and torso, and are destined to live the rest of their lives as subjects of limitless torture and pain. And the book goes on to discuss that as the pinnacle of joy at the same time, and just the most desirable state of living. Yeah, it's a strange day for you.
Do I have to roll to see if I kept my breakfast down?
I'll leave that to your own decision.
Okay,
All right.
I guess that will be it.
Okay. So, Aroden, you brew your potion. Does that require a check?
I don't think so.
Okay. And you said you wanted to mingle with the townsfolk a little bit and talk to Jominda and listen to what the people in the streets say, so you can give me a gather information roll.
Quick question, the two spells identified were wizard or cleric spells?
I believe they are both cleric spells. Yeah, they are both divine spells.
Okay.
So gather information is just diplomacy, right?
Yes. Well, you spent a couple of hours, but the people of Ravengro are really, really buttoned up. You can, of course, spend more time on it. You have more time in the day.
I suppose
How long does your potion take to brew?
it
3 hours?
It takes 2 hours.
2 hours, okay. So you'll have plenty of time left of daylight.
Okay, let's try some more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even Jominda is like really short with you, and she like never turns her back on you. Seems suspicious that you might grab anything of her inventory, when she turns her back on you, almost paranoid. It is frustrating.
Yeah. So apparently it does take a roll, but with a DC of 6, I think I can brew a potion.
Okay, yeah, you auto succeed. Mm-hmm. So you want to spend some more time
No,
trying to...
I think Aroden will get a hint, and he will
Okay.
return to the estate and help out Emaәрel with further identification and research.
Okay. So he asked your opinion on the board and those weird vials. I'm not sure if he also asked your opinion on those books.
I think he will, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you also notice that that scarab is in fact a lock that is cleverly connected to the book, so that forcing it might actually damage the book. But maybe you can pick it.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, but Emaәрel, do you have a needle? Sorry, disable device +6.
But you don't have thieves' tools, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't have thieves' tools. Actually, after this...
Didn't we... Didn't you get some from the general store?
Yeah, I think.
I think we saw them, but I don't think we bought them. Because I mean, Aroden definitely didn't buy them. He will buy them after, well, this.
Okay, well, yeah, then I guess we didn't get them.
And we didn't find them in the storage room in the crypt, right? So apparently we don't.
There were no.
So we don't have thieves' tools right now.
So yeah, but you can find a needle or something to make improvised thieves' tools, which are of course going to give you a penalty on the roll, but just a -2.
Try this out. Well, that's -2, so it is 15.
15. No, and even if you had tools, you're pretty sure that this is above your skill.
Yeah, that's some serious book locking. I mean, that's certainly harder than picking up the diaries. Well, fine. I think we'll have to leave it for the moment.
All right. So instead, you turn your attention towards those books, those other books.
Aroden actually probably won't read Verified Madness on Serving Hunger or like whole texts on Cousins. It's like somewhat beyond his interest. He will examine the study of Professor just to see what information of his interest he might find. Like,
all right.
Basically, alchemy.
Sure. So you want to do some research in the professor's private library?
Yes.
I'll let you do the afternoon there, so you can do one check. Knowledge, Arcana or religion?
Well, I don't have knowledge of religion, and Aroden actively scoffs at religion, so he will make a knowledge Arcana.
Okay.
It was almost 17 on 3D dice.
Okay. Quick check here. If those are inclusive, yeah, they are. Okay, so you go over the professor's notes and you spend some time opening some of the last books that he had removed from their shelves and didn't get the chance to put back yet. And you actually spot some information about this ominous whispering way here and there. And you learn that the Whispering Way is a sinister organization of necromancers that has been active in the Inner Sea region for thousands of years. You also learn that agents of the Whispering Way often seek alliances with undead creatures, or they are even themselves undead. The Whispering Way's most notorious member was Tar Bafan himself, the Whispering Tyrant. Although the society itself has existed much longer than even that mighty necromancer.
That is actually news to me.
Yeah, that is. Professor is a very good researcher. But maybe maybe there's more here. Maybe you just not looking at the right books, but the day just flies by as you piece together these enlightening facts, and the day's over before you know it. That was a rodent's day. Alaric, you set out into town, and you're trying to, chum it with the locals. Let's see how that works out. You can do a gather information, so that's a diplomacy roll.
Diplomacy roll, yes. Let me just make sure. Diplomacy roll. Okay. I have +6.
$25. Nice.
Very diplomatic person.
Yeah. So let me find it. So you spend a couple of hours hanging out. Where exactly? Near the town square or some other part of town?
Probably around town square, or maybe even like to try the town hall.
Okay. Town hall. Yeah. The town hall. Which I did not, as of yet, make an entry for you. There you go. I actually forgot to show a lot of entries to you. You also know about the forge. Okay, so the town hall is a classic small town style building, and it's a more of an all-purpose facility for pretty much everything, like council meetings, wedding receptions, or even an annual cook-off. It's basically just an open space for gathering the town. The town council meetings are scheduled according to a note that is tacked to a board outside the town hall. It is scheduled on the first oath day of the month. So it's not going to happen for at least 2 more weeks. Closer to 3, actually. It appears that the town hall actually has a section of organized records, but
there's someone
according to the sign, only authorized personnel is allowed access to those records. And there's in fact there's no one to talk to here because there's no town council meeting and no other event that is going to happen. It's close enough to the town square so that people can just keep an eye on the town hall without having a permanent guardian there. Okay, so you hang out near the town hall, near the town square, for hours, just whiling away your time. You pet that. There's a big dog that seems to enjoy the sun that sometimes breaks through the gray clouds that cover the sky, and he just lies there in front of the gazebo. Very friendly fella. You even get to pet him if you want to, and
Sure.
And he seems to enjoy that very much and goes belly up. And as it goes, being friendly to animals makes people seem very nice. So you manage to soften up some of the townsfolk around you enough to have them talk to you, at least a little bit. Let's see. And yeah, you get talking, and they're curious why you're still here. I don't know what you would tell them about that.
Oh, well, I was a very close friend with the professor, and we came here for the future. Right now, we are just trying to spend some time with his daughter to make sure she's fine, and so we're just. I'm just trying to get to know the city a little bit, get around and know people while I'm here a little bit.
Okay. So when you explain it like that, the townsperson, which is actually a farmer from the edge of town, from the northern edge of town, who was picking up a tool that he had repaired at the forge, and he goes, "Huh, well, that's good that Kendra has some men in the house, or shouldn't be left alone just like that, poor woman. I guess you can make yourselves comfortable in our nice little town. Just, and then he leans in and he goes, just make sure you stay clear of that Harrowstone ruin after sundown. You know." And he looks over his shoulder, left and right, and then goes, "You can hear the ghost of the warden's wife wailing and sobbing from somewhere within the ruins at night. She haunts the prison now, forever mourning her husband and attempting to frighten anyone who intrudes on the prison." And then he kind of gives you a strange look and a weird little grin, and he moves along.
Phew.
All right, you still have the afternoon. What are you going to do with your afternoon?
Well, seeing that there's no one in the town, I would like to. There's no one around here, and maybe if it's enough time, I'd like to go just to check around a little bit around the Harrowstone Memorial. Trying
Okay.
to get a sense of what's around it.
Okay, yeah, you can spend some time there. Let me just go back to the description. So the Harrowstone Memorial. Yeah, it's a 25-foot tall, moss-covered stone statue overlooking the river, and the statue depicts a proud, muscular human man dressed in leathers and wielding a truncheon. There are a total of 25 names chiseled into the statue's stone base. Give me a perception check.
Yes. Where's it is?
Okay. And yeah, you look around a little bit, and you don't really, well, actually, let me check your modifier. You have a +5 because you're going to spend a lot of time around here. So eventually, that's like rolling a 20. So you can take 20 on your perception if you want to be thorough. And there's nothing in particular about the memorial that stands out to you. You had already seen a spot that was cleaned after it was vandalized. And now it's way too late to have any hope of finding any tracks. But you notice something that you did not notice last time, which is that just a couple of steps away from the monument, there is an old fountain overgrown with lichen and moss.
The fountain.
Mm-hmm.
You said that there was some steps to get there.
Yeah, it's just that everything is very much grown around here. So that fountain, it's kind of hidden from view coming from the town, but once you go around the little row of bushes that block the view, it's very plain in the open.
Okay. Is there like a figure or something? Just
No, it's just
plain-
it's just a large round fountain with stagnant water, just runoff from rain. It's like a large round basin that sits on a couple of stone leering gargoyles.
gargoyles. Can I do trying to detect some haunts or corporeal around about it? Like, I have this ability on scene revealed, which makes perception checks to detect haunts, and there's something like I could try to figure out about the fountain, if it's something weird.
Oh, I see. Let me check that out real quick. Oh, it doesn't work the way you think it works.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not something that you use to call out a haunt or something, or an incorporeal creature. It's when you get a check to detect it, then you get a bonus. But it doesn't give you the check. It just gives you a bonus when you get to do the check.
Okay.
Yeah. But the place, that fountain definitely creeps you out. That's for sure. It's like a lost place.
Yeah. So just stay there for a little bit, like going around. See if there's something more hidden. Because once I found the fountain, it's like it seems that there's more than seems around here.
Okay. Yeah. As you walk around the fountain, you notice that on the far side of it, so even further removed from view of the town, the tall grass and the bushes have been recently trampled down, and not just recently, but over the course of a long time probably, and including up to recently. So it looks like one or several people have been hanging out here.
So weird. So there is a fountain, and there's at the far end of the fountain, there's the tall grass is a little bit. See that someone, or more than one person, has been around there.
Mm-hmm. It's curious.
It's interesting. Sure. Yeah.
Do you have ranks in survival?
Sorry?
Do you have ranks in survival, the skill?
I have +2.
That's probably from your wisdom, so I believe. Never mind. Oh, you could roll if you want to. You can roll survival. Yeah, go ahead. Roll a survival check.
Okay.
15. No, you're not skilled enough to learn anything more than the fact that it was one or more people or one or more creatures that trampled down the grass here.
Okay.
Yeah. You feel like Sorry.
Yeah, I think this is all I will get today from this place. But
yeah.
I know that it's a very interesting thing, and that there have been people around here, like around the memorial and around this fountain. So I'll take note and maybe mention it to my party once that,
Alright.
that I see them there.
When you get a chance. All right. Cool.
Yeah. What? How long do I have more during days?
I think that thorough inspection and walking around that place, and I think that takes up most of your afternoon.
Okay, well, after this, I will just go to the Laughing Demon and grab something to drink. While I try to make sense of what I've seen during the day, what I hear.
All right. We'll get to that later. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Crow was gonna hang around town, keeping an eye out for the local rabble-rousers, as you said. And life is, of course, happening around the town square. That's where people hang out. And the rest of town, that's just people getting to their homes or to the town square. But that's where people are. So I would assume that that's where you are drawn to. And give me a perception check. Okay. There are a lot of people coming and going on the town square. Silk Purse and the apothecary. Most of them, of course, going to the general store, and back. You see some of the general store's girls come and go, and interact with some of the people, politely greeting some of them, and just townsfolk, simple people having a regular day. And a couple of kids, sometime in the early afternoon, start playing near the gazebo with a little skipping rope, and they sing a little song as they do that, and as you listen to their words ring out over the town square where everyone is just going about their days. It is a very surreal scene because this is what they sing. Put her body on the bed, take a knife and lop her head, watch the blood come out the pipe, feeds the sturge so nice and ripe, drops of red so sparkly bright, splatters spell her name just right, with a hammer killed his wife, now he wants to claim your life, tricks a father, tells a lie, listen close or you will die. And they just repeat those lines over and over again, and it is chilling your spine. Everyone else doesn't even seem to notice.
Chops. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Very fascinating. Okay. How old are these kids?
They're like 6 to 9.
Yeah, Crew's not gonna go bother them. He's not gonna go approaching like 6-year-olds in the street.
All right.
Not at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. So they play a little bit. The afternoon drags on.
Okay. And the other thing I was doing was trying to inquire about the Lorimore's associate.
Right. You ask at the inn, and the innkeeper, what's her name again? Sariana Vey, met before.
Mm-hmm.
Says, "Oh, I am so sorry, but she has already left she was only here for the one night of the funeral. She even left before breakfast. Oh, I believe it was still dark outside. I didn't even notice when she left. Now that you tell me, I just found her key on the and her and the gold she was due on the bar.
A terrible shame. I don't suppose that you happened to got her name before she left.
Why, yes, of course we keep the names of our guests, Mr. Crow. Her name was Sign. Kvalka Sign.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that ledger to see how that's spelled. Kvalka sign.
Oh yeah, it's a little tough. It's Northern Ustalavic spelling, I believe.
Hmm.
Will you be needing a room again, Mr. Crow?
I do not think I will be needing this at the time. For the time being, I will be staying actually in Loremore Place. So if any mail comes to find me here, you can direct it there.
I will do so.
Okay, she's already gone. I
Yeah,
guess.
so you have like a half afternoon left.
All right, I'm gonna head over to the Laughing Demon.
Okay.
And try to chat up Zolkar?
Zolkar, yeah.
Zolkar.
Okay. And we'll skip to that later, because I think that's probably where you're gonna meet Alaric too. Okay. Geier.
Geier will shuffle along
over to the temple.
To the temple.
Where he is at first greeted by a little bit of rejection. Like the father, it's not really. You didn't leave on the best terms. Let's say that. He's not hostile or anything, but he's also not over the moon to see you.
Yeah, Geier was not in his best behavior last time around.
Yeah, and at first you talk to an acolyte who's like, yes, what can we? And then the father sees that you're here, and he says, he actually calls him out by name that I want to drop real fast. Sorry. He says, Rufio, I will talk to this poor soul.
Rufio.
I believe you have matters to attend to in the chapel. And then he turns towards Geier. So you've come back, I see.
I have, Father. I apologize for my previous behavior. I was grieving, if you can believe that, from a gravedigger.
I understand, but I still do not condone your actions.
Well,
you,
then,
of all people, should know that a cemetery deserves respect and peace.
And it is precisely those actions that I would like to atone for, if you would permit me, of course.
He raises an eyebrow, and he says, atone? That is a noble thought. But it is not ours to forgive sins. Only the Lady of the Graves judges us. But
And if Pharasma wills it, then I will gladly take on the upkeep of her grounds, so that the souls can rest in peace.
So now you want me to let you work on the very place that I don't want you to disturb.
It does not necessarily have to be there, Father.
And it won't. I would appreciate a hand too, but there's plenty of things to do around the temple, which I would need you to take care of, starting with the privy.
Well, you have a shovel.
I do have a shovel, and no work is beneath Geier. He will smirk and nod
we
along.
will see about that, he says.
Oh, God.
And thus begins the day of atoning for Geier.
Of cleaning latrines. Great.
Yeah. But how does Geier go about it? Is he really sincere about it? Because they're gonna test his conviction. They're going to give him the worst jobs.
Geier has done the worst jobs. It's not like, he had a choice in profession back in Lepidstadt. So he wouldn't be unfamiliar in this kind of... In basically, doing what the well-adjusted people of Ustalav don't want to do. So, no, Geier goes about it with stoicism, and if not a shiny disposition, then at least not grumbling and complaining, just as if it was just another job, another hole to dig.
All right. Okay. Give me a fortitude save.
Is it that bad? What have they been eating? Oh, I have a sheet now.
Okay. So they really are trying to test your limits. They start with a privy. They make you shovel feces for a while, and then they move on to other tasks like back-breaking work. Most of it. You can tell that most of the jobs they hand you are stuff that they put off as long as possible, and probably just waiting for someone who has a bad conscience to do those things. But Geier powers through all of it.
Sorry, my fortitude should be +3, not +4. So that should be an 18
okay.
instead of a 19.
That is still fine. So Geier takes everything they can throw at him, and he actually manages to impress them a little bit.
This is peanuts compared to Lepidstadt.
Are you telling them that?
Hell no. Geier keeps his quiet.
All right. Give me a second. I'm going to take a note of that. Okay. So at the end of the day, the father, while you are busy repairing some rough pews, and you already have your hands full of splinters, and the father walks up to you and he says, "Well, you weren't kidding about wishing to atone, were you?"
Geier just nods politely.
I think you can call it a day if you want to, and I would consider us even.
Very well, Father. I appreciate it, and I'll be here tomorrow if you have any other pending tasks that you would see fit for me to help with.
Well, in fact, I might be able to find a thing or two for you to do around here. You have proven yourself quite capable. And he gives you one last look, as if still a little, incredulous that you really did all that work. And then he turns and leaves, and you're free to go.
Hey, what can I say? Geier is a monk.
Yeah.
Monking it up.
Monking it up. So where are you going after the work at the temple? took the whole day, so it is
Take a shower.
just before night.
What time is it?
It's just before sunset.
Just
already-
before
yeah.
sunset.
It's already
Well,
setting.
normally, Geier goes, to the tavern after his shift, but usually his shift ends much later. There's not that many people, so not wanting to offend the sensibilities of the local populace, he'll just head back towards Loremore's estate.
Okay. So you
Perhaps a change
join-
of outfit.
Okay. So you meet back up with Dr. Arronax and Emaírel, while the other two are at the Laughing Demon. Okay. Let me think about that for a second.
I mean, I could persuade them to come with me for a drink. It might improve my chances if, instead of a lone orc walking into the tavern. I say this out loud. Oh, I mean, I would appreciate a nightcap after a day's work, but lone orc in a strange town might not be very well received, but with a respectable company such as yours.
Well, we did spend most of the day, well, at least half of the day in the study. Well, I don't see why not.
Yes, you can tell me about your findings there instead of cooped up in here.
And
Fresh air might do you good, and trust me, I've smelt worse.
And Aroden meanwhile tosses him a second vial of shield potions. Like, I mean, one of our studies is right here. Although don't check it just yet.
Emaírel, what say you?
Sure, the drink sounds good.
Okay. So the three of you are joining the others, or unknowingly. But...
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So as it happens, you all meet up at the Laughing Demon. You kind of filter in one after another, and as you get in, Zokar waves you over, and he goes, "Oh, my friends again! Hello, friends! I have a new tech line," he says to Crow, and you can see that on his menu he added a note to the drink that he claimed was made from werewolf blood, and he's scribbled underneath it, "With a bite." What do you think, huh?
Charming as ever, Zokar.
Crow, fancy meeting you here at the end of the shift. Just like old days, huh?
Yes, I suppose so. Pardon me, I cannot seem to find my accent.
Perhaps you have misplaced it. Have you checked under the table?
It's been a long time since I've been under the table, my friend.
Yes,
And
even
and
back
with
in
that,
Lepistad, you were never much of a drinker.
no, and with that, he actually orders a coffee from Zokar
Coffee,
if they have it.
Coffee, Mr. Fancy Man. We have coffee. Of course we have coffee. But tonight is a night of song and dance. Tonight I have band. And he points to a makeshift stage where it looks like some musicians are actually getting ready to play some music for the night. I know you're still grieving for Professor, we all are, but, what better way to remember a friend than with a smile on your face?
Oh?
Of course, it is always better to remember the good times, such as they were, than the bad. But Zokar, I have a question for you before the band starts playing and it gets loud in here. I overheard a strange song being sung by some of the children while I was out about in town. A sort of nursery rhyme, I believe, but with more disturbing connotations than I'm used to.
Hey, what you talking about, huh?
And I recite the poem to him, or the rhyme. At least just the beginning of it, the first couple lines of it. Do you know what this is?
Ooh,
This is
that
tradition
one.
here in Ravengro.
That one I see. Well, probably sounds funny to people, to out-of-towners, eh?
No, that's that was like mildly disturbing for the beginning of a nursery rhyme.
I don't know, I thought it was quite catchy.
I would not think too hard about it. It's just something that children in Harrowstone have sung in forever. It's, I mean, I've heard it. I don't know. I think I heard it for decades. I may have even sung it when I was a little boy running around town.
Do you happen to remember what the name of this poem might be?
I don't think it has a name. We always just called it the skipping song.
I see one of the oddities that makes Ravengro so charming.
It truly is charming town. To Ravengro.
I'll toast with my
Well,
cup
and
of coffee.
Ravengro soccer. So, soccer. I'm really enjoying my time here in Ravengro, and who could say no to a good, nice evening here with the music and drinks? Everything is lovely. Do you know what? I would really like to congratulate some of the persons in charge of this city. Do you think that some of the council persons in town comes here like frequently?
Well, not every night. Sometimes they do. That, of course.
Well, if you see someone tonight, I would really love for you to point me out who it is, so I can invite him a drink.
Sure, I will make sure to do it. You might see Geier. Geier sometimes comes to hang out when music plays. But hush,
yeah.
hush, they're about to start.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
And you all take a seat, I would assume.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the reaction of the people towards our presence there?
They are, well, of course you're still turning some heads, but you've been the talk of the town ever since you didn't leave after the funeral, like most of the other funeral guests. So, yeah, you draw some looks, and you notice that some whispered conversations. But it doesn't seem like they're scared or anything, and it also doesn't seem like they are what should I say? Like they're not happy to see you either. You get the sense that they feel a little disturbed in a sense that you've trespassed into their private time here.
I think we should be grateful that it's not open hostility, so I'll take it. It's a win.
Oh,
So where do you want to sit? Whoops, Crow's not on the bar.
well, this is the scene? Or...
Yeah, let's say that's the stage. It's not really the stage, but yeah, let's say that's the stage.
Well, it kind of looks like a stage. Well, it kind of looks like a ring, but let's
Let's say it's the
Yeah.
stage.
let's make it a stage.
It's a bit out of the way. Maybe not wanting to intrude near the entrance. Oh yeah, no, he sticks with the group, just kind of like, tries to stay out of the way, not be too prominent
Well, I mean,
or close to the stage.
this is like as good place as any, and drinks are here too. So
Kind of like moves his hat around and tries to appear not so gravediggery, if that's even possible.
Crow's gonna kind of stay front and center, and he's actually is that Mr. Avernaki across the stage from us?
Yeah, yes.
I'm gonna try to see what he's drinking and order another one for him.
Okay. We'll give
As
me a
the
second
music's
here.
playing. Yeah.
Yeah, because I forgot to put Alejandro's new character into the token.
But there's no hurry about that.
Yeah, but I will forget if I don't do it right away, so I'm just going to do it right away.
I did pay for it.
Well, you did pay me. Where is he? There he is.
Their body on the bed, take a knife and lop her head. Watch the blood come up the pipe. It's a catchy tune.
Yeah.
I believe that the execution of that song was just perfect.
Thank you.
Performance. A little bit scary, creepy, but great. I thought that Freddy Krueger was going to come out at one moment.
Cool. That was what I was going for. All right. So you guys are going to hang out around the bar.
yes,
Gaia, I think, was around here. Is it? Can you see your token, Alejandro?
I can. Awesome.
All right. Okay. So the music starts, and they start playing a catchy tune. It's a fiddle and a little drum, and everyone turns their attention towards them. Some people are stomping along, and the music is just about to get going when you roll perception checks.
Lovely.
Perception.
Our minds are adults with alcohol.
Nice, Geier.
I swear to God, what is it? I have not rolled a single roll above 10 on this character
Ooh.
yet.
We have a couple of nice rolls here.
Okay.
Second
All right. Yeah. So, Gaia and Emaírel, you notice a buzzing sound just at the edge of your hearing. It's almost inaudible because of the music that's playing, but it is slightly getting louder and louder by the second. And as you possibly are about to open your mouth to tell your friends or ask your friends if they hear that too, it happens. 3 giant insectoid creatures looking something like oversized bat-winged tangles of legs with a needle-sharp proboscis come buzzing in through the windows. They smash the windows on their way in. It's like they're driven by some very, very strong need. And they show up around here, and it's going to be a surprise round, and Emaírel and Geier will get to act in it. But everyone can roll initiative. Crow, Emaírel, Arronax is in here. Alaric is not.
Because I didn't select my turn tracker. But it was 6.
Okay, Alaric was 11 and Geier was 6. Okay. Let me do that by descending. All right, surprise round. So it's only a move action or a standard action, and the first one of these, these strangely animated, strangely vicious creatures moves in towards one of the townsfolk at that table over there, and it seems about to like, oh, it actually moves into our square, and seems like it's about to sink its giant proboscis into the poor woman. Emaírel.
So I'm assuming that civilized people don't go into bars carrying all their weapons.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I probably left my shovel back at home.
Okay.
I didn't. Well, if you did.
But I imagine that like a sidearm, like a longsword on the belt, would not be frowned upon.
Probably
Well, the
not.
longsword is pretty big. Is that your only other weapon?
Well, it's more like rapier-y rather than longsword.
Okay. Yeah, let's say you have it on you. We should have checked before, but let's say you have it with you.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, this is kind of a remote place, so it's not too unusual for people to be armed.
Well, Emaírel will move. Will get off his stool and move forward. And that's it.
Okay. Crow was surprised by it totally digging the music, maybe, but didn't have an ear out for that. The next of these creatures moves over and into that person's square, landing on their shoulder. Doctor was also surprised, but and the next of these creatures moves forward and lands on that little boy's head. Geier.
Geier will rush to help. Oh, that's 50 feet. Damn it. It's only a move action, right?
Yep.
But can I do 2 moves as a full round?
No, it's just a move action.
All right.
Because it's a surprise round.
Yeah, then it's just a 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right? Yep. Well, that's about it.
All right. The townsfolk start screaming, and they go like, ah! And the people on the stage, they're also shocked by what's happening, by those weird creatures attacking. But they're still Well, when they do enter the tavern, they are still playing the instruments. Everyone can give me a perception check again.
Come on.
They're still playing their instruments?
Well, as they fly in, like in that surprise round, they're still playing the instruments because they are worth surprise to
I haven't
themselves.
caught on yet.
Oh my god. Come on.
And yeah, and Crow and the Doctor, you notice that because of course the musicians stop playing their instruments as soon as they realize what's going on, but the Doctor and Crow, before they do, you notice that these giant creatures, or these giant insects, were sort of strangely manic, and their motions seemed almost choreographed to the music, and they were swaying back and forth to the rhythm as much as they were making their way over to the people. However, they, even though the music stopped, they are unfazed by that, and they attack their victims, sinking their proboscis into the poor woman's shoulder and beginning to draw blood. The woman goes, "Ah!" and she claws at it helplessly, trying to get it off, but not a chance. Emaírel.
We'll take a move action to draw his thorn blade, and he's going to try to identify these things if he can.
There will be a knowledge arcana, actually. Oh yeah. Yeah, you know plenty about these things. In fact, you know so much that I will just hand you their stat block. They are sturges. They are vicious, blood-drinking swamp pests that usually prey on wild animals, livestock, and unwary travelers. And they are capable of draining a man dry in minutes, leaving only a desiccated husk in their wake.
Okay, and he will move a further 20 feet.
Is he going to share any of his knowledge?
Yes, I'm still looking at the.
Yeah. So you kick the chair out of the way and you move to the sturge that has landed on that big guy.
And well, what's useful to know here? That they can hurt us, that they can drain our blood. Don't let them drain you! And that'll be his round.
Okay. Crow.
Crow is. What would it be in terms of movement to get up on that stage and run across it?
Do you have ranks in acrobatics?
I do not.
Okay, then you would have to roll for it. So for getting up.
For getting up onto it?
Yeah.
But then once I got on, I could move across it.
Yeah. The roll is to see if you can make it part of your move action, otherwise it will consume a move action to get up there.
It'll consume an action. Alright,
But it's a fairly easy DC.
Well, the way I've been rolling, I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, sure, I'll give it a try. 5 feet forward. And then he'll make an acrobatics check.
Yeah, nice. So you jump right up there and keep moving. You can move the rest of your speed.
10, 15, 20. And then as he's moving, he'll draw his blunderbuss, which is definitely tucked over his shoulder. He does not go anywhere without that. So, draws it, and
So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the sturge. Well, that's not bad.
he shoots at the sturge, and unfortunately, he normally keeps it loaded with pellets.
Oh, good.
But he's going to use he's going to spend a grit point. He's going to spend 2 grit points, actually. One for... I'm sorry, I still don't have this new sheet set up. I have to go back and forth between everything. 1 grit point to activate Careful Shot, and 1 grit point to activate Focused Aim.
All right.
So Careful Shot allows him to exclude up to his charisma in targets from his scatter weapons cone.
Mm-hmm.
And Focused Aim lets him add his charisma to the damage.
Okay.
So he will... The only ones he has to exclude are this woman right in front of him, and this other woman, and the guy that the sturge is on.
All right.
Okay. So, where is my button? Pellets. No modifier because yeah. Damage 10 piercing / bludgeoning damage. Oh, that's no, sorry, 7. It's an attack roll of 10. Wow.
And that is actually a miss. I believe.
Against their touch?
Yeah.
Got higher dex.
Because they're very small. The dex is not even the problem because it's grappling, so it doesn't get its dex bonus. But it gets a size bonus, so you miss. And also, your weapon goes off right next to that woman who goes like, ah, as she ducks away from the exploding sound. So does the owner of the general store.
And absolutely nobody is hurt.
And you shoot past everyone, but they didn't know that you are such a good shot, so they all are just like surprised, and their faces are just masks of shock.
So you mean God came down and stopped this bullet?
Alaric.
Oh, now I can move. Okay, let's see real quick. Okay. I will move. Wait. Okay. I'll move here just next to Geier. And you think I can have like a clear shot from the crossbow? This search.
Do you have precise shot?
Precise shot. So, or where is that? That's an ability, right? Or
Yes, that's a
It's a
feat.
feat.
fit? No, I don't have precise shot.
Okay. Then you take -4 on your attack roll.
Okay. Do I have the risk to hit someone else?
No.
Okay.
That's what the -4 takes care of.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, well, I can take the 4, and I don't mind hitting. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Let me see if this is right here in this spreadsheet.
Oh man, and you hit the chair in front of the boy, and if the chair hadn't been there, your bolt would have probably struck the boy. So what is most likely his mother next to it is not very happy about that. Because they don't know how precise shot works. scourge that has landed on that guy is going to try to attach itself to him, but he is just wiggling around and trying to shake it off, and making it really hard for the scourge to sink his proboscis in. So it is not attached. The doctor.
Well, Doctor is somewhat shaken. He actually doesn't have any weapons on him. But what he has on hand is a glass of whiskey. So he looks at it, like takes a sip, and he will throw a glass at the scourge.
Okay. 10,
this
20, 35. Improvised weapons have a 10 range increment?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's either 10 or 12 or 20.
I'll just go with 10.
So I'll have to roll 20, a natural 20 to actually hit.
Why?
Well, it's -2 at so it's like -2, -4, -6. And according to stat block with that Emaírel Deviant, their armor class is 12 now. So, and if I will be throwing into melee, so
Yeah, it's also not attached, so it's actually quite mobile still. Just roll your attack, we'll see what
yeah.
happens.
Let's see. How this is going. That's +2.
No, that was the wrong one.
I rolled, I think.
Not seeing anything.
Roll 20 is frozen, I think.
Are you sure it's not asking you for a modifier or something?
No, I have rolled in both in chat and with a button, so I think it's.
You're talking to yourself, maybe?
Oh, there it is.
There it is. 15. That's a miss. You just hit the stage with the glass.
Okay. Oh man, the
Move
first
action?
one was good actually. Well, almost good.
Move action?
Ta-da-dun. Move action. I think then time will be time to actually move out. I'm sorry, sir. Sorry. Excuse me. And 30 feet.
All right. The third scourge is going to try to... Wow! That boy is also really struggling, making it real hard for the scourge as well. Gaia.
Geier appreciates the brave efforts of the boy, just like swatting the scourge away, trying to avoid getting hit. So Geier moves up close and swats the thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, yeah, he does.
Push.
That does the damage doesn't seem right though.
Yeah,
It's
it probably should
It's
be more.
0 + 3. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, my damage.
You have to type in the 1d whatever for your attack.
Because it's 1d6 + 3. Should
Okay.
be.
All right, I'll roll a d6. You can figure out how to put it on the sheet. So that's 8 points of damage. So it's one swing with his green-skinned fist, and the scourge almost explodes as Gaia swats it. Indeed. So it just goes splatch, and the rest of it, like the oozy remains of the scourge, Gaia just shakes off. They drip to the floor. The townsfolk start heading to the exits. They're just going, ah! And they're trying to make their way over here. So, whoops. That lady is trying to help her husband get rid of that scourge. The rest are trying to get away from Crow and his very loud weapon. And everyone around here doesn't want to cross those sturges, so they're basically just gonna move into the corner, trying to stay as far away as possible from what's going on here. Yeah, the guy with the scourge on him is going to try to shake it off. There we go. 15. Yeah, and he manages to move away from the scourge and also heads for the door. Well, with one move action, I guess. The boy also moves away. So does his mother, basically pushing. Oh, she was sitting on that old man. And the other lady that is currently being attacked by the scourge is trying to shake him off, or shake it off as well, and succeeds. So she also goes, making her way to the exit. Zolkar reaches for something behind the bar and brings up a pretty vicious-looking club with a nail hammered through the top. And he goes, "Not in my bar!" and makes his way over here. Okay, the Sturgis. This Sturge moves towards Geier. Geier, you get an attack of opportunity as it moves into the square. You can flail at it, basically.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, like swing at it.
That still seems to be not the right damage.
Yeah, I didn't manage to fix it, damn it.
That is 4 points of damage. Yeah, so
was
you hit
flying.
it. Yeah, you hit it, but it just tries to grab your hand as you swing at it, and it tries to sink its proboscis into your skin, manages to attach itself, and first the proboscis goes in, and then its barbed legs latch onto your arm. So it's basically grappling you. And then it ends, and then now it ends its turn, and it's attached to you, so it automatically inflicts 1 point of Constitution damage as it drains you of blood. You can almost hear it gobble it
How
up.
do I count damage in this sheet?
I don't know.
I
We can
just put
figure
like
that off.
-1 in temporary Constitution.
Yeah, that sounds right. A second. I made a mistake in my macro here. And in that one too. There we are. Okay, yeah, so you can feel it drain your arm. Your arm already goes like pale green as it sucks the blood right out of it. Emaírel.
We'll take a swing at the Sturge right next to him.
Mm-hmm. Swings and hits and cuts it in half in midair. And the thing goes down. Move action?
He'll move next to Geier.
Okay. Crow.
Crow's gonna reload with a bullet. It's a standard action. And he's gonna try to move off the stage 5, and then I guess I have to roll another acrobatics.
No, not to get down. You can just
Okay.
hop down.
5, 10, 20, 25, and he'll stop right there.
All right, Alaric.
Okay, I'll just move. Can I do melee attacks like in a diagonal? Like if
Yeah,
I'm
but
here?
yeah, okay, but we have to break down your action. So you drop your crossbow in the square that you were in.
Oh,
And
it's because I have it. Okay, well, if I'm from here, if I try to shoot the crossbow, will I have the? Do I have like a clear? View
no,
of
it's
it?
far from clear.
Far from clear. Well, so if I want to use a melee attack, I will need to drop the crossbow.
Yeah,
at this
you
point.
would have to drop the crossbow, take a 5-foot step as a free action, draw your weapon as a move action, and then attack as a standard. You could do all of those things.
Okay, well, I will do that.
Okay.
Just to try to finish this thing
All right.
off.
Roll your melee.
I have the melee attack here. Well, I have the light. Can I use the light mace or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Oh, I think that the attack it's.
And,
Oh, the damage is made, but for it's way too low. I don't know why
Yeah.
it's not that.
but the attack roll is way too low too.
Yeah.
So you basically you knock the wind out of Geier as you accidentally hit him.
Like,
You
what
don't
the-
damage him, but he just goes like,
Well, I wanted to push you away from.
the doctor.
Ugh. Well,
Oh my.
well, Arronax will move. Don't tempt me, Frodo. Moved in a more advantageous position, and well, to be honest, I think Geier will have it well in hand, so to speak. Although I am within a range of a throwing chair. I mean, 10 feet after all. I mean, what is on this table?
On which one? Sorry,
On
on
this
that one. A couple of mugs.
He throws a mug at
He
Geier.
throws them up.
Well,
All right, throw it. $13. Well, it is attached, but it is ranged attack, so it's into melee. Yeah, the mug just bounces off Gaia's back.
What have I done to you guys?
And Gaia, it's your turn.
Oh,
Geier will resist the urge to turn on his companions and swat at the actual sturge stinging him.
All right, wait, because it's technically a grapple. It's already attached, so you can try to break free. So basically, shake it off. You can try to become the controller in the grapple, but it would still be attached to you. Or you can just try to do any action, including punching it. Just giving you options.
I will try to punch it.
Okay, so make your attack, but you take a -2 to hit.
If I make a full attack, I can do 2 of them. I can do flurry of blows.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just take like a -2 on the next one, which is
On
not
both
great.
of them. On both of them.
Right. So I'll do. Actually, no. I'll do No, I actually can't. It'll be impossible to do punishing kick on something attached to me, right?
That would be impressive.
Sorry, no. I'll just do a full round flurry of blows.
Didn't know Geier was so flexible. Oh,
Hey.
shit.
Whoa. So, you use your entire arm, and you smash the scourge on the table, and
And then again.
squat it.
And then again.
And even though it's already just a bloody pulp, bring it,
Oh, that bit me!
you bring it back up, and again, bam, you squash it on the table. And that was the last of those scourges, I believe, right?
That's the Geier I like.
I turn towards the Alaric. What was that?
It was an accident. Come on. You know better than that.
Yeah, but preventable accident.
Well, it was in the heat of the action, you know. That
The
thing was
action
trying.
next time, just let me handle it.
That stooge was biting you. So come on.
Yeah, and I took care of it. Next time, avoid accidents.
We'll try it.
Oh, what bummer! I wanted to take a swing at them. Why are you looking so scared, everyone? Get back to your tables. You play music again, huh? And everyone around there is kind of like shuffling their feet and being a little, still a little shaken up. But they slowly make their way over to the table. The musicians start playing their music again.
These things burst in through the window.
Yeah, they
Yeah, this is a normal
smashed right
occurrence.
through the window.
Crow's gonna go walk over to the window and try to check that out,
Mm-hmm.
making his way past all the very frightened people.
Yeah.
And Geier will follow, because that's not
Mhm.
normal.
Yeah, it looks like they really smashed right through it. I mean, it's pretty. It's single pane windows, very cheap glass. But they must have had some serious determination to get in here.
Any
So-
signs of anything on the other side of the outside?
Give me a perception roll.
God, I'm starting to get a really bad feeling about this character.
No.
At least you're not
Nothing.
hitting your partners.
To be fair, I mean, shooting bugs out of the air is difficult.
Yeah, so you check out the outside, but there is no sign of any tampering.
Okay.
So Emaírel learned that these things live in swamps. Do we know if there are swamps around in the area?
Well, there is a river going through the
Yeah,
area.
you definitely know that. You've been traveling here. There is plenty of stagnant water around and plenty of places for them to live. There would not be an uncommon occurrence in these parts. It's just their behavior that was very, very uncommon.
There was a whole lake. There's a whole lake just a little bit
Yep.
north of the town. Big
Exactly.
lake.
Zolker starts sweeping up the remains of the sturges, and he turns towards his gathered audience and he says, "Tomorrow, free stew!"
Aroden will help him to dispose of the creatures to make sure this joke will not come to life.
A sturge stew.
Thank you. That is very kind of you to help.
He also
And he
might.
kind of whispers over to you. You know, we just gotta get back to normal soon after something like this.
Yeah,
Don't want to lose any customers.
Mhm. And Aroden might try to probably extract some anticoagulant from these creatures, but I mean, for science. But perhaps later. I mean, it's no big deal.
Crow's gonna sit down next to Emaírel and say, "You seem to know a thing or two about these sturges."
Well, I've read a couple of things about them. Anything in particular you'd like to know?
I was only wondering if you happened to see the way that they were sort of moving in rhythm with the music. Is this a thing that they normally do?
Not to my knowledge. That did seem very odd.
They were sort of swaying with it, almost as if it was a dance to them.
Oh, interesting. I think I noticed something like that as well. Hey, Mr. Zokar, what are they playing? Aroden will point at the scene.
Please, it's just Zokar, no Mr. Needed. Mr. Naėllaṛian was my dad. Music they play, it's just common Ustalavic folk song.
Well, no need to assault.
Here, have a drink on the house. He'll help me with that pest.
Well, I mean, it's mostly Geier, so. But well, it's a shame to turn down booze. So, thank you.
Yes, Geier, I have to say that was an impressive performance.
What you mean, swatting bugs?
Well, I suppose I just did not expect someone of your profession to be so limber.
Well, the dead don't always remain dead, and need to be ready for surprises.
I suppose so. You do seem to have a couple surprises yourself.
I just don't like being stung by bugs.
Well, here's to you then, he does, and he raises mug.
Here's to you, Geier. Sorry about that before.
Geier feels a bit strange being the center of attention, but he sheepishly raises his glass and toasts along.
That's the spirit, Zokar says, and toasts with you. And it's the start of a nice night. Depending on how long you were willing to stay here, the music keeps on playing for the better part of the evening, way into the night. Although the crowd really thins out like an hour or two after sundown. It's a tomorrow is a moon day, so just a regular work week starts again, and people seem to be eager to start the day fresh. How long are you willing to stay? Are you gonna party all night, or are you gonna head in at a
Geier
reasonable
just
hour?
finishes his drink and heads home.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a person, I am tempted to stay and sing myself, but I don't think Aroden is a singing type. So he will soon go home as well. Well, to the mansion.
Crow will actually be staying, and he'll be singing along with any of the songs he knows.
Okay.
Well,
Trying to keep it light.
Yeah.
Alaric will stay as well. Just trying to see who comes around, trying to drink some. Enjoy the music for a while.
Okay.
And I think Emaírel will stay and observe the people.
Okay. So the night is really enjoyable for those of you who stay a little longer. As the people get more, well, liquid courage, some of them actually walk over to you and have like a careful chat with you. It's not like they're it's not like they all sudden like they're all over you all of a sudden, but you do get the sense that saving everyone from those giant sturges got you a little bit of trust in return. And thus you spend your evening. None of the councilmen are showing up tonight, which, as Zolkar can tell you, it's not uncommon. They don't hang out every night here. If any of them come, it's usually Geier Naėllaŕian, who is the eldest of the councilmen, but also the most fun-loving one. But even him does not, or even he does not attend tonight. Well, sooner or later, Zolkar calls it a night, and you all make your way back to the Lorimore place for another night at Kendra's. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna take extra precautions to make sure that there's no sturges or signs of sturge activity around the run-in shed where Duchess is.
Okay. You check Duchess for any bite marks or anything. She's fine. And she does not seem to be at risk.
Okay.
Okay. The next morning, you all have breakfast together. Zolkar's spirits are strong, as you realize at the latest this morning. But it's not like you're sickened by it or anything like that. Yeah. Once again, you meet at breakfast to talk about what you have planned for the day. Or maybe you want to share some of your revelations from the day before. Because I don't think you got a chance to really talk about that yet.
Well, Emaírel will tell about his findings in the books. Maybe a few hours after breakfast, so that people aren't. All the horrible things and the torture and the undead.
Well, Alaric will tell them as well about what he found in the Harrowstone memorial. Like, having sensation that there's people or creatures hanging around it. Told them about the fountain, hidden fountain, how people hangs around there.
I knew there must be more to that place.
That's exactly what I think.
Although, I mean, it is a rather secluded place. I mean, it might as well be some place for a fisherman to, sit around and fish. I mean, what people around here do at this time of day?
I am more suspicious that our friend has stumbled upon the hangout of that rabble band of kids.
Yeah, it honestly didn't feel like that, Doctor. It was this weird vibe about it. There was a sign that some fishermen were hanging around there. Also, I think that I have an idea of how we can get a hold of the list of all the prisoners in Harrowstone prison.
Geier's eyes perk up. Go on.
Yeah, well, I was hanging around the town hall, and it seems that they keep the register of all type of lists and what's going on around here. So I'm mostly sure that we could find something there, but I think that we just need to find a counselor, be charismatic enough, or maybe bribe them or something, and get a hold of that list. I don't think there's damage on that. I just feel that we need to know more about that prison and keep the research of the professor. There's something about it.
Inclined to agree.
Well, perhaps you two can dig your heads into that, but I have an appointment today to speak with the woman who found Professor Lorenmore's body.
True, and I also have to go to the Church of Pharasma.
And I have a shopping tour to do.
Geier, do you mind if I come along? It would be nice for me to spend some time around.
Sure, I will introduce you to Father Grimburrow, and if you can be discreet, or at least more discreet than my previous attempts have been, perhaps you can come by more information.
I'm just going to try to offer my services. Well, I kind of spend my time serving Pharasma and herself, so let's see what the father has heard. Maybe we can get some more information, like you said.
Well then, follow me.
Oh, well.
All right.
This time, Geier will make sure he has his shovel with him at all times.
Okay, let me sort this out real quick. So Crow and Arronax head to the town square for different reasons. How about Emaírel?
He will try again with that last scroll, and
Okay. Well, that only takes a couple of minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes.
and then he'll spend another day in the library.
Okay. All right. We'll get to that in a little bit. That is not enough to decipher that scroll, of course. Okay, and Gaia and Alaric head to the temple. Okay. All right. This is gonna be interesting. Let me just figure that out for a second. Okay. So So here's what's going on. You Lorimore Place. Crow, Arronax, you leave a little earlier while Geier and Alaric get ready. And as you head out, as you get to the town square, is roughly around the time when Geier and Alaric head out of Lorimore Place. And all four of you hear a music. A lonely violin being played in the most mournful way, a sad dirge that's been carried over to you on the winds of the morning. And as the notes fade away, you get to the general store. And I'll tell you what happens. The morning sun has barely peeked over the eastern horizon as you make your way through the long shadows across the town square. The village itself is coming awake as good wives push their sleepy-eyed children out the door to begin the day's chores. And the usual sounds of cocks crow and the occasional dog bark are joined this morning by this otherworldly music. It's haunting, hauntingly beautiful. But who the mysterious player might be is unguessed. The music, it's not unpleasant. But you have business to do. You head to the general store that is already opening up, and the storekeep and the local gaffer chat idly near the front counter, talking about the strange music, which has apparently been heard across parts of town since before dawn, speculating as to who could be the source. The storekeep's wife stocks shelves while their young girls run around playing chase, and you once again eye the suit of fine plate armor that stands near the back of the store, wondering what kind of coin it would take to get the storekeep to part with it. You've heard him mention that it belonged to his wife's long-deceased grandfather from back when he fought for the crown. And then one of the young girls opens the cellar door to fetch a bag of herbs for her mother, and you hear her small child's voice suddenly exclaim with delight, "Grammy?" To which the storekeep's wife patiently explains, "No, dear. You know Grammy and Grampy passed on from the fever last winter. She's not waiting in the cellar for you." Out of the corner of your eye, you notice that the arm of the suit of armor seems to shift and slightly raise as if it had been dislodged, and the whole thing was about to fall over forward, but you're distracted from further investigation by the sound of the heavy, slow tread of bare feet climbing the cellar stair. Boom, boom, boom. And the look of delight still on the young girl's face as she shouts, "It is Grammy!" It's something behind the cellar door that you can't see. As the suit of armor clatters to the floor at your feet, and you see standing in the alcove behind it the worm-eaten corpse of what was once a gray-bearded old man. And you can only think to yourself, and this must be Grampy. And then the screaming begins. That's what's happening at the general store. Meanwhile,
Okay.
on your way to the temple, on your way to the temple, Geier and Alaric hear the same haunting music. And you make your way to the covered bridge that crosses the river. The posting pole just ahead. And the posting pole is a thick tree trunk stripped of branches, sawed off at head height on a tall man, and set upright in the ground at the end of the covered bridge so that notices and broadsheets can be tacked to it for all to see. And the young lad that you recognize as being responsible for hanging the notices crouches at the top of the pole, trying to stay out of reach of two clay-encrusted skeletons that swipe at him with jagged claws. His stack of posting notices lies scattered on the ground, and he is obviously terrified. Afraid news dangles from the broken necks of the skeletons.
Oh, there's your hanged people by the well, Doctor.
Told you
Okay.
they were real, and you didn't believe me. You called me mad. Well, you didn't call me mad, but you thought about it.
Geier will rush towards the skeletons.
Okay, let me figure
Oh,
this out.
Alaric certainly will as well.
Alaric goes to this map, so does Alejandro. And Dr. Aronax goes to this map, and so does Anthony. That split the party
so-
feature.
Peverin was also the kid I was trying to help from the bugs, right?
And
Or
that
was
was
it
a
some
different.
other
That
kid?
was a different kid. That was a kid.
They'll look the same. Human kids.
Okay, Sam, I'm gonna take you to the same map that the other two guys are on, because I think you have the best chance of making it over there if you're willing to. Because I mean, you also hear the music.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna roll initiative, but we'll actually have two combats in two different places of town, and they're not exactly happening at the same time, but we'll just move through them turn by turn as if they
Ooh,
were.
Ambitious. I like this.
So give me initiative.
I think I did.
We don't see the tokens to.
I think it's just other hand on me at the moment.
Oh my god.
Okay, so Gaia and Crow are in here, but nobody
So
else.
before we start, the constitution damage that I have, is it
That
gone?
regenerated overnight. It was just 1 point, and you regenerate 1 point per night, so that's gone. Sam, I'll put your token on the map just so you can see you're not actually close.
Okay.
Okay, so I have Gaia, Crow, and Dr. Aronax, but I don't have Emaírel yet, which I'm gonna add. Emaírel is a 8. I don't have Alaric, which is a 13. Okay. There is that. That is, everything's fine. That's totally normal. Total normal situation here. Okay. That's this. Then I'll need the initiative of these guys, which is pretty high because skeletons are fast. And those other guys are not as high in their initiative. So there's one over here. Wrong. And the other over here. And they roll their initiatives. And there we go. Okay. So, fun.
How come zombies are faster than us?
Yeah, we were really unprepared for this.
Yeah, you really did not expect that to happen, I guess. So the skeletons are actually moving first, and as Geier and Alaric move onto the scene, Pervin, of course, sees you come closer, and he yells out, "Oh, quick, please, help me! Help me!" And that turns the attention of the skeletons to you. They've so far just been toying with poor little Pervin, having apparently some
Oh,
strange sort of fun with him. And now they turn towards you, their empty eye sockets fixed on you, and their perpetual grin seemingly getting wider as they move right at you, and it comes charging at Alaric.
sorry. Just one thing very quick. I see that my hero here in turn order, but I
You-
roll a 13. But it said like you wanted to send the result of this roll to turn tracker, but nobody token was selected. It
Yeah,
didn't.
you need to select your token first and then hit.
Yeah,
Initiative.
but it's
Simon,
fine. I
so
added
you-
you manually.
Well, it's
actually,
okay. It's okay.
you put the 13 on my character.
Oh, whoops.
Oh,
What was your initiative?
8.
Yeah. No,
Sorry.
it was. Okay, yeah. Sorry about that.
No, it's right. So the skeleton comes charging you nonetheless, and tries to claw you with a attack roll of 9 against your flat-footed, but I doubt that's going to be enough. So instead, you get to defend yourself.
Defend. What action can I take as a
You can
defense action?
you can take a dodge action.
No,
Dodge action? No.
you. It's just your turn. Don't. I was just saying that
Oh,
there was
okay,
not a
okay.
mechanical sense of being able to defend yourself. It's just your turn.
Okay. I think this. Let me just make sure it's something. 50 feet. Okay. First, I'll try to move.
If you move away from the skeleton
He
without
will have
taking the withdraw action, it's gonna get an attack of opportunity.
Okay, the withdraw action will take me 1. Okay, it's okay. I can. The other one is far away, but let me try this time. Surprised by. Oh, not as much surprised, but a little bit surprised at this quick attack of this undead creature. I just respond by channeling some positive energy to try to damage this skeleton.
Okay. All right. So you produce your holy symbol.
Yeah, I take out my holy symbol. I think it's the first time I do this. This other one is a little bit out of reach, but I'll try to hurt this close one with this. Okay, how will this exactly work? So it's a 1d20 for.
No, channeling energy just means that they get to do a save when they are within the area of effect. And the area of effect is a 30-foot radius around you.
Yes.
So it's only that one skeleton for now.
Yeah, this one.
And it's going to get a will save, which is pretty bad for the skeleton. So it failed, so it's going to take full damage. And at first level, you roll 1d6
Perfect.
for damage.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So that is 4 points of damage, and that obliterates the skeleton right in front of you. It just goes as it's smashed by the divine patron. Which means you still have a move action.
Okay, after obliterating this, I try to get a little more around Here, just be. Oh, I was. Just stay close to Geier, but waiting for the movement of this undead creature.
Okay. Then it's the other skeleton's turn, and that other skeleton, terrified by a man of divine power, tries to take you out as quickly as possible. So it's also charging you, but it doesn't fumble, but it fails to hit you. On the other end of town,
Power of Pharasma compels you.
at the
creature.
general store, Grampy shows up from behind, I guess, the full plate, and just goes "Ugh," and moves towards the closest target, which is one of the girls. But it's staggered, so he just walks over there. "Ugh." And Crow, your turn.
I'm just gonna ask: do any of the kids have initiative?
They are all gonna move at the end of the round.
Okay. I guess if Crow hears the screams of the kids, he's gonna go running that way. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. I'm gonna leave Granny to Arronax. 35, 45, 50, 55, 60. It's as close as I can get.
Okay. Emaírel, you hear that strange music too. And yeah, what do you do?
I guess we try to pinpoint the location.
Okay. Well, it sounds like it's coming from the north.
I guess we'd step out of the house and
Okay.
try to follow it.
Give me a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
21, I think. Yeah, no chance. Well, it's really hard to pinpoint, but it's definitely coming from somewhere north. And it's far away, pretty far off.
I'll just keep following it.
Okay, so you head north?
Yep.
Alright. Yeah, walking, I guess. Why would you run? Really? Okay, Gaia.
I think he said 1 second. I don't know if.
I think he must have stepped away.
Okay, then let's just do Dr. Arronax first.
Okay. Aronax then first will follow Crow. Oh, 30. And
Alright.
he will turn to the shop owner and
Sorry about that, I'm back.
Huh? So, what? Yes, sorry. Okay, sorry. Aronax turns to the Lufko Avanak and asks, yeah, before I give them final piece, do you have any attachments to your dead grandparents that I need to be aware of?
Who are you asking that?
Shop owner.
The shopkeep?
Yeah.
He's wide-eyed, pale as a sheet, and he's just, what?
Mm-hmm.
What are you That's not our grandma. That's some monster. Kill it!
Good to know.
Kill it now! And throw a bomb onto the square in front of her, I would
Yes,
assume.
I suppose it will be better to throw it as a square in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
to
So
get-
she gets a reflex save.
Yes, reflex save 14.
With her amazing zombie reflexes. She makes it. Probably the door is just still ajar, so she manages to avoid the blast, most of it. So that's only half damage, right?
Yeah, from 5 to...
Okay, so she yeah, it smells like burnt, rotten flesh now. Gaia.
Geier is going to swing his shovel. Well, move here. And swing his shovel.
Mm-hmm.
Bring the dented and well-used.
Doing a flurry or just a regular?
Just regular because flurry's full attack.
Yeah, but if you only do a 5-foot step, then that's fine. Uh, 15 is a miss.
Second one. Oof. Not
And
good.
that's another miss. Yeah, you were not prepared to meet skeletons around here.
Yeah, it's in a graveyard, not.
Yeah. Also, they're covered in clay, and you hate digging through clay.
It's one of the worst materials, to be sure.
Granny moves forward. And then the screaming gets louder as all the kids go ah! and run back and up the stairs. Ah! And the elderly lady runs out of the store, also terrified, moves out of sight. Store owner swings himself over the counter and also moves over to the stairs, ushering his kids up there. All of those guys move away. Huh. Yeah, they move upstairs. The wife of the shop owner also runs upstairs, but as she sees that one of her daughters is with that zombie, she yells, Carmela! Carmela! Come over here! Quick! And Carmela does full defense and tries to move away. And then Grampy tries to eat his little granddaughter.
Do they get attacks of opportunity if they're staggered?
Yeah, I believe they still do get attacks opportunities, but he's terrible at it. So she gets to run over to her mom in this round. That was that. And back at the covered bridge. That skeleton is already dead. Alaric, your turn.
Well, we'll repeat doses of positive energy to banish this creature.
All right,
So I take out the holy symbol and
Oh.
this thing.
And another failed will save, so you'll get to roll your d6. And that skeleton is blasted away by Pharasma's might as well. So that one's gone. Okay, up at the general store. Grampy moves towards Crow, charging him with his stagger charge. And is his Why does it not show up as a token action? There it is. So he gets +2 on that roll, which is a 12, so that's not enough. Crow easily dodges that, and instead...
He takes a 5-foot step back. He levels raw deal at Grampy's head. And he's going to take deadly aim and his focused shot deed. Or focused aim. Subtract a grit point and hope that I can actually make a decent roll. He's still firing with the bullet that he had
Loaded before.
loaded from last night.
Storing your firearm loaded.
Nice! You.
Oh my god.
Although the zombie unfortunately does have some damage reduction, so you blast the zombie's head, well, most of its face off. It's really all that's left is like half his jaw, one eye, and just a gaping hole on the other part of the head. But that's still enough for the zombie to continue to try to bite you.
Okay, I'll take it.
Emaírel?
We'll keep following the sound.
Okay.
So fun.
You move further north, and as you do so, you notice that there's something strange going on in the town. I mean, it's still early in the morning. There shouldn't be much activity, but you hear from out of several houses, you hear sounds like not as much as like like fighting, but like scuffles. So there's a surprising amount of activity around. Feels very strange with that music going on as well. The doctor.
The doctor is eerily copies the move of the crow by 5 stepping backwards, and well, he doesn't take a shot, but now he reckons he can't miss at this range, so he tosses another bomb straight at the granny.
Nice.
And Grammy goes up in the explosion. Most of Grammy is splattered over the shelves and the wall. Move action?
I took 5 steps back, so I can't.
Oh, you took a... Yeah, you can still take a move action.
You can.
Well, I don't really need anymore, so...
Okay.
I thought you couldn't. Oh, yeah, move action. You just can't.
Yeah, it's that terrible double meaning. A move action to not move.
Yeah.
Gaia.
Second edition, here we come!
Yeah. Gaia. There are no more skeletons around, obviously, and Pevrin seems to relax a little bit, and he comes climbing down the post, the pole, and he says, "Thank you so much. I thought I was done for. What are these things? I heard about about skeletons and undead, but what are they doing right here in the center of town? What is that music and what's going on?"
I thought you were the one for answers around here.
What?
Yes.
I have nothing to do with this. I'm just putting up the notices.
Shh, go to your father, and we'll take care of this.
Ah.
And
And he
Geier will
runs
try
off.
to follow the music.
All right.
With Alaric following.
All right. Okay. So you cross the river and you continue to follow the music. Granny is no more. And in the general store, the mother and her daughter run upstairs as well. And the rest of the family, all of them, kind of hunker down in the master bedroom. You can hear their footsteps upstairs running to the southeast corner of the house. Alaric is following Geier, so we can just skip that. Grampy staggers forward 5 feet and goes with a slam. 23 to hit for 7 points of damage.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's a brutal swing as he, slams you. But then it's your turn.
We have time for a reload here, so I'm going to drop Raw Deal carefully on the ground. Draw out my kukri and try to jab it in this thing's remaining eye. Not nearly as good with the kukri though, so
Let's see.
15.
That is enough. And 2 points of slashing damage is exactly... As you twist the kukri, you hear the grinding of metal against skull bone, and you manage to stab the thing to death. True death.
Back to death.
Back to death. Alright, you'll have to give me some narrative license here so I can keep a handle on things. So, Geier and Alaric cross the river and head towards the temple. And about halfway over there, you are met by Rufio, who's running down the dusty road at top speed. The music is still playing in the background, by the way. And as he sees you, he runs even faster. And he goes, Geier! Geier! I was looking for you! And he catches his breath as he slows down a little.
Calm down, Acolyte. What is going on?
It's Father Grimmer and the rest of them. They went to the Restlands. And I think I think that's where the music comes from.
The Restlands?
I don't want to... What's going on? There's dead in the streets everywhere. And there's something going on at Councilman Murica's place too. But I need to get to the Restlands. I need to get to there. I need to help the father. I was trying to get you to. Here's take this. And he throws a burlap sack at you like a small bag. And then he turns around, he takes one last breath, and he speeds off, and he yells, No time! No time!
No time, and run to the Restlands.
Oh, Geier.
The Whispering Way has turned its necromancy on this town,
Yes.
and the undead are coming back to living. We must do something about it.
Necromancers. Completely.
So we
Should we
rush
go?
towards the Restlands. They did say
Yes.
the council person, somebody
Yeah,
was.
the councilman's. He mentioned that that he heard some strange sounds coming from the councilman's house, which is on the way. But of course, stopping there is going to cost you some time. But you could stop
Yeah.
there if you want to.
No, we need to. I'm tempted to stop there, but
No, Restlands.
we need to help Father Grim in the Restlands. And that's where I suspect the biggest action is going to be.
Okay. So
and we're going to go back to that house later and find corpses.
You're heading straight to the restlands.
Regained a grip point.
Emaírel, as you hear those sounds and then you kind of pick up your pace because you get the sense that something is not right. There's something very weird going on, and why is this music continuing to play this early in the morning? And then you see a door burst open, and what can only be a zombie with a pitchfork in his head falls onto the floor. A farmer inside the house, standing protectively in front of his family, and that's when you know that there is something very, very bad happening. And am I right if I assume that you would run to the town square?
Yeah. Well, that's still the direction of
That's still north. Yeah, that is still in the
Yeah.
direction of the music.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me take you to the third map now. Let's see. There it is. I need a second to set this up because I was thinking that it would happen in a different way. But I should have known. Not like this is my first campaign with you guys.
Total noob.
Okay, so Emaírel, you run towards the town square, and when you get there, you witness the following scene. The mysterious fiddle still playing, barely audible now above the ruckus that has arisen in the town square. Townsfolk flee everywhere with lurching undead horrors shambling along after them. Most people seem to be managing to lock themselves within their homes, and businesses causing the walking dead to wander elsewhere in search of prey. But in the center of the square, where the old gazebo stands, a different scene unfolds. There is a number of disembodied claw-like hands that clamber across the grounds towards a small group of children behind who at the same time appears to be trying to get past the dog. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Sorry. Yeah, so they clamber across the ground towards the structure and up its rails, and within, or just in front of it, stands the town's mangy stray dog that has been adopted by the children, as it seems. And as the crawling hands approach menacingly, the dog stands its ground, growling at them and blocking the way towards the children behind him, who at the same time appear to be trying to get past the dog with their sticks and play swords in order to bravely defend it from the approaching horrors. None of the townsfolk seem to have noticed this yet, and it is only a matter of time before the dog and children find themselves in trouble. So, yeah, I'll just keep you on this initiative count, and I'll add the crawling hands. Crawling hands. Okay. Okay. There you go. One goes here. Dum 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 dum. All right. You enter the town square. That's the scene that you see. What do you do?
I guess I will rush towards the hands and draw my thorn blade. So am I like at the correct position, or am I still far away?
No, you are actually in the spot that you see yourself.
Okay. Well, he'll take a move action to draw his blade and then move into position.
All right. Yeah, you move into position. The crawling hand in front of you, eerily walking on its fingers, tries to jump you. You get an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Where is it? 12. That's not a hit because they are surprisingly dexterous for being just severed hands. And it claws you for 2 points of damage and holds on to you with a tight grip. So you're grappled.
Okay.
Okay, inside the general store, you took a few moments to examine the remains of Granny and Grampy and trying to figure out what was going on, probably peering down the cellar or the basement stairs, checking behind the suit of armor just to be safe that there's nothing else hiding. When you hear a shriek of terror from upstairs, from the children. Dr. Arronax, your turn.
Well, I mean, when there is a shriek of terror, there is only one way to react. 10, 30, 10, 10, 10, 50, 55, and I suppose that would be about 60, right?
That seems about right, yeah. Actually, you would end up... Wait. Here, because that's the top of the stairs. Okay, you move up there?
Yes.
Okay, out on the town square, the people in the general store also hear the commotion outside, where apparently there's also something going on. And this crawling hand is trying to jump Old River, who is going to try to defend himself. And he bites and hurts the hand, but nevertheless, the hand, jumps him and tries to claw him too.
Does he trip the hand?
Can't be tripped. And the hand scratches, deep scratches into his fur. The scruffy fur turns red in places. Another crawling hand crawls towards Emaírel. Another... If you have one.
Yep.
You do?
Yep, I have combat reflexes.
Nice. But you miss, and instead the crawling hand tries to claw you, but I believe even without your dex modifier, still probably not below 10. So, success. Geier and Alaric continue to make their way towards the Restlands. Now all these guys are up. One of the children is bravely moving towards the hand, trying to defend the dog. So is the other kid. But they are all obviously in over their head. But they're trying to poke at the hand with their wooden sticks. Okay, that's that for now. The last crawling hand is moving in and towards Emaírel. If you have another attack of opportunity, 2.
Well, actually, I have a question. Grappled is a -4 penalty to dexterity. So that would reduce the extra attacks of opportunities from combat reflexes.
Would it really?
I'm asking. I'm not sure.
No, I don't think so. I think a penalty is just that you take the 2 dexterity checks and stuff. It's not like it's drain.
Okay. Well, in that case, one more.
This time you hit it and you cut it open for 4 points of damage, but it is still going to get a scratch in. If it weren't so terrible at it, it breaks off a nail. Alaric and Geier are continuing north, rushing as fast as they can. Grampy has already been destroyed. Crow, you hear a scuffle outside and upstairs.
Well, I know for sure that Arronax is up there, and I just heard some big old explosions and saw him running past, so I'm starting to think he might be quite capable of handling himself. Not just throwing glasses at people. But I guess I don't know that anyone's outside yet, so I'm gonna go outside.
Okay.
5, 10, 20, 25, 30, and he's gonna need to stop and take a standard action to reload his gun.
Okay. Emaírel, outside on the town square.
We'll try to stab at that last tent that he managed to hurt once.
Okay. Taking a -2 because you're grappled.
It's a miss, I guess.
So that's just a 10, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not going to cut it, quite literally. The hands. They're just going to try and claw you while being attached. So they take a -2 penalty. A 22 is however confirmed, so that is 4 points of damage.
And they draw a card?
No, only named NPCs.
Okay.
The doctor.
Well, doctor, well, this is like doors here, right? So I suppose he doesn't see any source of screaming, so he will continue on his way. Do I need to
The doors are open.
Okay. 35. And that would be it.
Okay. Outside, the crawling hands are still... so many maps. The crawling hands are still all over the dog and Emaírel, but the one on the dog seems to be pretty unruly. The dog is viciously trying to shake it off. The one on Emaírel is more successful. It does 2 points of damage. Geier keeps on running north. The children continue to harass the hand that is attacking their dog friend. The other crawling hand down here is a 13. That's gonna miss, I would assume.
That's a regular attack, right?
Yeah.
Not touch or yeah. That's
No, nothing like that. Okay, Alaric is also rushing north. Crow.
Crow's gonna run for that door. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. Okay. I assume the doors still open because people ran out it.
Exactly.
All right. So then another move action.
Okay. I'm just going to move you to the other...
He's going to get outside.
Yeah, and I'm going to move you to the other map. So you show up here. And you see Emaírel fighting with 3 severed hands, and a fourth hand is harassing the dog that you saw before, and a couple of
Okay.
children as well.
I should still have a few feet of movement left, so
Okay.
5, 10, 15. I think that's as far as I
All
can
right.
get.
Emaírel, Crow is coming.
Once more, try to attack that same hand.
This
That's a
time you're more
13.
successful. You drive your blade at an awkward angle, but you drive it through the hand, and it just goes limp on the blade. And however, another one that is still on you tries to scratch you. 17 to hit.
Nope.
All right. Upstairs, you hear more screaming, Doctor. Terrified screams.
That's 30 feet. Is door open?
The door is open, indeed. And now you see the source of the screams, because a dark, shadowy creature is more like flowing out of the closet in the corner, while the entire family has backed up into the corner on the far side of the room.
Can I attack it from here?
Yeah, you can throw a bomb if you want.
Well, I mean, then Doctor will burst in with sparkling dangerous thing in hand, yelling, "Begone, foul creature!"
You lob the bomb over there and you closet, but you also blow up the entire creature.
Well, I suppose a bit of underwear is a small price to pay for this. So
the hand that is on the dog continues to scratch and fails, and the dog is tough. The one one of the ones on Emaírel tries to is successful in scratching for 2 points of damage.
And Emaírel falls unconscious.
He goes down with the 2 hands still on top of him. Crow, you see your newfound friend go down.
I thought that was Oh no, I thought that was his health bar that was green. It's like, oh, he's fine.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He is not. Alaric is also headed for the Restlands. Crow.
Shit. Well, yeah, the ones crawling over Alaric take priority over the one on the dog. So, let's see, how close can I get? Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to move all the way up, and I'll put myself between the hands and the kids and the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, this is not gonna be good. I have 3 hit points. Oh no.
Uh-oh. That was 2 moves?
Those 2 moves to get there, yeah.
Emaírel stabilizing roll?
That's straight con. It's been so long.
Yes. You lose another hit point as you continue to bleed out. The crawling hands are huge fans of bleeding people. But Crow has moved very close to them, too close for their comfort, so they're gonna turn around on their little fingers and scurry over and into Crow's square, so you would get an attack of opportunity if you can take it.
I've got a ranged weapon in my hands.
Okay, so it's just gonna move in and try to scratch you, but fails.
Okay.
That thing is already destroyed. the doctor.
Well, since he probably won't be able to join the battle outside very quickly, he will look inside the room and ask if everyone is all right.
They're still pale, but they nod, and the owner just says, "Thank you so much." What is going on? What is that infernal music?
Unfortunately, I cannot say just yet. Actually, can I roll anything to try to learn what it is? Like Knowledge Arcana or something? Or nature?
Sure, knowledge arcana.
I actually might know what that is.
Well, you don't know exactly, but you know that song sometimes has magic powers. There are bards that travel the lands, but you've never heard of a bard necromancer. But this is Ustalov, so who knows? So you still have a move action, or standard?
Well, I suppose he might just as well go to the window and look outside if he can, like.
As
you look out the back of the general store, and you just you look out into the surrounding green lands.
Just in case something crawls up.
Yeah, but you don't see anything roaming the backyards. Back on the town square. The crawling hand on the dog. This time succeeds and scratches the dog brutally for 2 more points of damage. The other crawling hand moves on to Crow's square, who still has a ranged weapon equipped.
Yeah.
So that is another. Oh, this time it hits, and it does 2 points of damage and grabs him. And Crow, your turn.
Wait, it's Emaírel is down? I thought the dog was down.
No, Emaírel's down.
Well, fuck.
So this thing actually, it doesn't grab me, right? With a 4?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Crow steps back, and he's yelling out, "Arronax!" as he levels his gun, loaded with pellets, and fires using focused aim and also careful shot, because he doesn't want that blast to hurt the kid or the dog, but he's going to make an attack roll. He's going to make attack rolls against all 3 hands.
Can you use your card, your hero card, for
I don't think that helps with this.
Too bad.
If I remember correctly, it's wisdom thingies.
Okay.
It's not going to be this. Oh, they can't. They're not going to take attacks of opportunity, right? Because they don't have the reach to do it.
Correct.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Pellet shots.
All right. That's going to be an important roll.
It's 3 separate attacks actually.
Okay.
So the first 2 are going to come against the ones that are adjacent to me.
Okay. If we can do closest to furthest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, gunslinger.
I'm trying to think. Are there any other modifiers I need to take into account? This one, no. Okay, so damage. Are you kidding me?
Man.
Are you kidding me with this guy?
Oh shit.
Crow does not have good dice rolls.
Crow is not a lucky character.
Misses.
Second shot.
Yes.
10 damage to the second
one blows the crawling hand away. It's obliterated.
Okay, and I assume the third one, I don't have precise shot, so I'm assuming the third one takes the -4 penalty.
Yeah,
Alright, this
But
one's gonna be...
but it's also grappling, so that kind of just a little bit.
hang on, I'm not sure exactly how this one's gonna... Okay.
That is
So-
a potential crit. Let me do the math on that. No, it's all size bonus, so even the grapple doesn't help. So it's not confirmed.
But still
but
7
it is-
damage.
Yeah, and it is enough to blow the hand right off the.
Okay, so I spend 2
Emaírel?
grit points, I recover
Oh,
2 grit
oh.
points.
Nice. Emaírel, stabilize. Nope, you continue to bleed. That hand is taken out. The doctor.
Well, see, I suppose he would hear the gunfire from outside, so like now seeing that everyone here is alive, he will apologize and rush back, I hope.
Okay. Back at the at the town square. The crawling hand on the dog is dead. The one in front of not, and it jumps him. And where is it? There it is. It tries to
Just
scratch.
misses.
And it just barely misses. Kids are now that that hand is dead. The kids are running off. And yeah, basically running away and getting lost in the
Doggy!
alleys.
Doggy, help!
The dog is going to
Yes.
charge the crawling hand. Tries to bite it, and it is exactly enough. And he sinks his teeth into it for 4 points of damage, but he fails to kill it. Crow, your turn.
Shit. That didn't kill it? Ah. Oh god. It's a whole standard action to reload this gun. Might be kukri time again. Yeah, I mean it's on me at this point. It's practically on me, so
Yeah.
it'd be really hard to shoot it off. I'm gonna try to you can hit it with the kukri.
While it's still on you, or are you going to take a step?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess I can step. It's not on me, so I can take a step back.
All
So
right.
take the 5-foot step back, then drop the gun, draw the kukri,
Mhm.
swing at it.
All right.
Come on, come
Flanking
on.
with the dog.
Oh my god.
It's really astonishing. That's a 10, but it's still not enough. Emaírel, do your constitution. Exactly enough. You're stable. Arronax.
He will continue double moving.
The hand, well, it was attacked by the dog, and Crow failed to do anything. So it's gonna jump the dog, who gets an attack of opportunity as it does so. And he bites, and he actually he grabs it as it jumps him, and he grabs it out of the air and he throws it onto the ground, and that's where it just lands on the back of the hand.
Oh my
With
god,
its
this dog is
fingers.
coming with us.
With
Yep.
his fingers facing upwards.
I promise I won't shrink it.
Okay, so again, I'm gonna need to take some to get
That's
everything
fine.
together again. So the dog kind of Crow almost feels like he's nodding as he like turns to Crow one last time, gives him a strangely intelligent look, and then turns around and runs off. And then at some point soon after, the doctor is making his way over and out of the general store.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you see Crow busy trying to get Emaírel back on his feet Do you guys have any way of healing him?
Not me.
Well, we have potions, but I think we left them at the Lormar's place. Strictly
Well-
speaking, I have a Harrow card that I could use to channel energy, but I'm not sure Arronax is actually aware of this ability.
Yeah, it's a purely plot thing. Yeah, there's no way of knowing about that.
Yeah,
it's
it's
just that.
somewhat, you know,
So it could be like that you run there and you no, what is going on here? And then through some are you going to use it? Do you want to use it?
I mean, I don't know really.
Crow's gonna be yelling about we need to get Emaírel back to Lorimor Place.
Yeah, because I mean, actually, well, Arronax is more inclined to actually take him back to Lorimer's place and use the potion on him properly.
Okay. I mean, remember where you are. You're on the town square, right?
Hmm.
We're on the what?
You're in the town square.
Yes.
Yeah.
How far away? Hold on. How far away would it be to like drag him back to Lorimor's place?
It would
Are
be
we-
very far. And what I'm
Shit.
saying is that you're basically at the doorstep of an apothecary.
Oh.
Oh. That's a fair point.
Well, I suppose, I mean, it would be closer to drag him to the apothecary. She is an apothecary after all, right?
All right.
I hope
So
you've been making friends in town.
Yeah.
you shoulder Emaírel and you over to the apothecary and knock on the door and you just you say, "Oh, it's me. It's Aroden, or it's Dr. Arronax." And then after
We need a doctor here.
after some time that feels like forever, Jominda opens up and she says, "Oh my God, what's happened to him?" And she quickly runs for a healing potion and trickles it down Emaírel's throat, and he gets exactly 3 hit points back. So he is back at consciousness, but he's staggered.
I'm gonna look at her and say, I don't suppose you have a spare one of those around.
I'm sorry, I don't usually stock healing potions, but let me see. And she looks around, and then she comes back with a regular healer's kit and some. Yeah, and actually another potion. And
Wait, but Emaírel's at 0?
yeah,
Oh shit, Emaírel
he's
probably
staggered.
needs it.
yeah. So does Emaírel get to use the potion?
Yeah, get to him.
Okay.
He's still not up.
Are you gonna use it?
Yeah.
Or do you
Sure.
have any other way of getting the?
No. Mhm.
Crow doesn't even know what Emaírel's capable of. He doesn't know if he can perform healing.
Guess I'll just take it.
Wait, so do we seriously not have any healers in our party at all?
You don't have to take magic. You don't have any healer. All
What?
right.
But
Out
we
about
have a
that.
winning
That potion.
disposition. Well,
That potion is very effective. Okay, let me just wrap this up so we can get everyone back together again. So you down that potion. This one way more effective, and Jominda looks at you and she says, "What the hell's is going on? What is this music? It's..." And she looks out of a window to the north and she says, "I think it's coming from the Restlands."
I think that's where we ought to head.
All right. So you head out and you run towards the Restlands,
Mm-hmm.
and that is where you meet up at the entrance to the Restlands with the rest of the gang, who basically make it over there just at the same time they do. Get everyone over there. And here's what happens. So first, at the entrance of the Restland, you find Rufio knocked out, unconscious, bleeding, or, well, stable, but in the negative hit points. But there's not really anything you can do for him right now. Also, the other two may notice that Geier is carrying a small burlap sack that he wasn't carrying before, or you have not seen him carry that thing around before. Assuming that you would ask, like, well, what's that? Geier realizes that he hadn't even checked yet.
Too busy running.
Because you were running, exactly.
For 2 hours.
And you find out that the sack is actually stuffed with scrolls.
Ooh.
I'm only seeing black. Is that normal?
Yeah, that's all right.
You almost died. It's okay.
I didn't.
Well, you will.
Emaírel was.
So the sack is full with scrolls, but since none of you have read magic, decipher them. So you don't really have the time for that, and the music is getting louder, and you can hear it come from somewhere near the center of the cemetery, and so you move bravely onwards until you see a cemetery hill rising up in front of you, and as it comes into view, you see the cluster of aged stone walls that stands atop the hill, overgrown with creepers and high wild grass. And it seems this portion of the cemetery is older and gets less tending than the other areas, because in the tall grass, the headstones are barely visible. They're cracked and crumbling with age and canted at wild angles from their long years exposed to the elements. And dancing among them, like a vision out of a fever dream, is an elven maid. She is barefoot, with long, lithe limbs, and wears a tattered and stained hospital shift, and the ragged remains of a straight jacket that no longer restrains her. In her arms she holds a narrow-bodied Varisian fiddle, which she plays energetically as she dances about. Her face is the very picture of a transported bliss, as her eyes dance with gaiety and unbidden laughs actually burst forth from her mouth from time to time. Although the elf may be the image of grace and joy, the effects of her playing cannot be denied, as rotten and skeletal arms continue to rise from the ground around her, clawing their way to the surface as they sway in perfect time with the frenetic music. And we'll deal with that next time.